the Bob Mills Weather Center, Oklahoma weather expert, Jed Castles.
And we hear you, Hunter. There's no point in the car if you can't get behind the wheel and go.
I love that horn. That was cool.
Yeah, I'd love to see that they made that happen for him. Awesome. Today, Jed, looks like it's going to be another hot one.
Another hot one today. You know, we've kind of turned this corner. Once we hit May, summertime seemed to have kicked in. Multiple 100-degree days here in parts of Oklahoma since this weekend. And yesterday was no exception. Look at the 100s out in western parts of Oklahoma. Let's kind of zero in on those as we have now one day up in northwest Oklahoma hitting 100. That was yesterday. Southwest Oklahoma. Altus now is up to 4 days at or above 100. So let's check the days that the areas that got up to 100 yesterday. Fairview, Cherokee, Alva all hit 102, 100 in May Ranch, 101 in Freedom, Woodward, Seedling, Camargo, you made it to near 100. Now let's go to southwest Oklahoma, and you see there in Clinton close to 105 yesterday. Go down to Mangum close to 105. Altus, again, 107. That's the hot spot. And Hobart, you were 104. So it was cranked up out in western parts of Oklahoma. A little close to 90 in the Oklahoma City yesterday. Well, we're going to watch a little bit of a pattern change today as we're tracking our next storm system. It's kind of doesn't look like a whole lot here, but a little storm system moving through parts of Mexico, riding up into far southern parts of Texas. That's going to keep riding northward right up that boundary, and eventually that boundary will back up into the Panhandle. And as we go toward late today, that'll interact with that and kick up some showers and some thunderstorms here later today. So there's a risk of some storms developing along that dry line, and those will shove into western sides of Oklahoma late today. We're talking about 7 p.m. on, probably to about Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning, about 1 o'clock is when our best chance of some storms will be kicking in, with the wind being a possibility there. Some of the wind gusts could climb up above 65 miles per hour as that storm line moves through. Now, the storm line will move into west Oklahoma, but it's expected to weaken. When storms weaken, a lot of times they can gush out air, and you can see some of those gusts out ahead of that. Even though the storms are weakening out ahead of it, you can get some strong winds. So you live around Enid, Alva, just west of Oklahoma City, down to about Lawton. Don't be surprised if you get some gustier winds overnight tonight as that complex starts to weaken. There also may be some hail out of those storms. So the storms move into far west and southwest Oklahoma, up to about golf ball size. Hey, look at the moon. It's not the moon. I thought that was the moon. I'll say, I've got a reason for that. That's about where the moon was earlier. But you know what that is? That's Metaflight coming in. We'll find out more on that, I'm sure, as we go into the morning. Let's check out the temperature right now. 76 degrees, south winds at 15 miles per hour. Kind of a cool shot watching the helicopter come on in here this morning. Let's check out your future winds, future wind gusts, 20s, 30s here this morning. As we look at our forecast through the day today, got those gusts up around 20, 25 miles per hour. So look for another windy forecast all the way today. A warm one as well. We'll start in the 70s. We'll quickly climb in the 80s by 10 o'clock and should be in the 90s going into the afternoon. Some low 90s on the way with south winds, and those will kick in today about 15 to 25 miles per hour. It is warm out there this morning. Another morning we'll probably be seeing a warm low record set this morning. We've had it Sunday morning, had it yesterday morning, and again this morning. That is certainly a possibility. South winds at times up around 15 to 25 miles per hour, and expect to see those gusts right now running in spots up around 30 miles per hour. So it is a windy start this morning, so keep both hands on the wheel as our temperatures climb into the 80s, some 90s, and a few 100s expected again out in western parts of Oklahoma. Look at your temperatures overnight tonight, 60s and 70s, and as we go into tomorrow, more 80s, more low 90s on the way. And we'll keep that trend going on into Thursday with upper 80s and more 90s expected out in west Oklahoma. So we're now feeling more like that summertime pattern. If you have to be outside in this, boy, just definitely take your breaks and make sure you are prepared for that heat, as that's going to be a big story. Rain and storms late today. Going up out in the Panhandle, those are rolling to west parts of Oklahoma, gradually weaken, but those could kick up some thunderstorms again that could create some heavy rainfall. Looking forward to some rain out west. That's an area that desperately needs it. That is some great news. A few spots may close in on 1 inch of rain before those storms die out here overnight tonight. Chance of rain overnight for Oklahoma City at 20%. We'll see some upper 80s, around 90. That's way above normal. Still, we should be in the 70s. We'll be in that upper 80 range through the weekend with a few storm chances. Best chances coming in on Saturday.